Hey people, welcome. Google, stuff is not with you.
I think, yeah, it's the third time that he does that. Every time you say, hey, people.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
There's media playing.
Hey Google, shut up. Hey people.
After harassing Google.
Google was trying to sabotage this video, but this won't happen. 1 week ago, I posted a very personal and special video for me talking about body dysmorphia and the journey of my body, how I perceive my body, how society perceives my body, how I feel about it, how I want to feel about it, and all the things that you already saw in the video. Probably yes, probably not, but it's gonna be right here. And it caught the attention of a friend that also deals with the same things as me. And today we decided to dive into other stories of body dysmorphia and how Luigi, which is, I'm just presenting you right now, he's Luigi, and he got body dysmorphia. Hey, my name is Luigi.
Hi, my name is Luigi. I'm 21 years old and I got body dysmorphia. I mean,
this is therapy session right now.
So first of all, I want to thank, of course, your king for inviting me in this video.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. I just feel like your video, after I watched it, I thought it was very inspiring. And I was like, okay, these are things that I can actually relate to. And as you said, honestly, I've never heard of body dysmorphia until a few months ago, because my friend has it, one of my friends has it. And I was like, oh, what's body dysmorphia? And then I Googled it and I was like, so what I have as a name is not, and I know that it's not a way that I'm supposed to look like. It's just all in my head, and that makes me think that I'm supposed to look a certain way. And other things that I will explain, of course, throughout the rest of this video, and of course that Matheus has already explained to you last week. But yeah, I'm just very excited to talk about my side of the story, because I feel like the more experiences you hear from others, the more people that are watching these kind of videos can relate, and the more they can feel not alone, of course. I just want to start from where it all began. So my story, first of all, you need some background for me. I'm Italian. I come from a very small town in the south of Italy, and I lived there for 16 years of my life until I moved to the Netherlands. Italian culture, probably a lot of you know as the food culture, right? So already coming from a food culture and having body dysmorphia problems, that already says a lot in itself. In my small town, yes, we do eat healthy. When I say healthy, I mean like a lot of organic products, and everything comes from the countryside. Everything is great, is good for you. But I feel like in Italy, there's also this culture of you having to eat a lot for no particular reason. When I grew up, I felt like I was always eating much more than I was supposed to for some reason. Of course, if you're Italian, you can relate. You can also not relate. You can tell me if I'm saying something wrong. You can let me know in the comment section below, on his comment section below.
Right here.
Yeah, I always felt like I was pushed to eat a bit. And don't get me wrong, I love food, and I felt like I was in heaven, eating everything that I liked, everything I wanted, my grandma would make for me. But most of the times with that culture, I feel like my grandma, or like my family would just make everything I wanted. So if I wanted something unhealthy, they would do that. I remember eating a lot of fried things, which is very unhealthy for you, and also a lot of sweets. I would eat sweets every day. Like there was not one day that I wouldn't eat a fucking Kinder Bueno or fucking gummy bears or something. I would fucking smash something if I didn't have my daily sweet. And that's why I grew up to be this kind of chubby kid. And I always felt like I was never fat enough or skinny enough to consider myself fat or to consider myself skinny. So I've always felt like I was in the middle, and I was like, I can't complain because there are people skinnier than me, and I can't complain because there are people fatter than me. So I just never really wanted to change how I looked until middle school or high school, because
How your family behaved with how you looked?
I think at first it was very like, as I said, just eat. Like there wasn't really them coming up to me and being like, you look skinny or you look fat.
Oh, that's good.
Until high school hit. Then, because I used to do a lot of sports as well. Like my father's side was very into sports. And I always thought like, okay, I'm doing a lot of sports, but I'm not like getting any skinnier like at all. I'm doing tennis, I'm playing soccer, I'm going out with friends. I keep myself active as well. But I just felt very frustrated by the fact that I wouldn't lose any weight. But I feel like that was related to the fact that I kept on eating that much and things that I really didn't need in my body. But yeah, until high school, I saw everyone around me. In Italy, there are a lot of diverse body types. You can have the super skinny guy that everything he eats, he's never gonna get an ounce fat. And you can also have the pretty chubby guy that, is always considered as the funny guy, right?
You've been there and done that. I've been there and done that.
So you always go there and they're always like, it's so cute to just go up there and just have fun with, because they're always so, like, they're always energetic. I don't know why. That's the stereotypical idea that we have of chubbier people. It's also in the movies. In the movies, if you see a fat guy, it's gonna be the funny one. Like there's no way it's gonna be the romantic interest.
No.
But
and also I feel like people are always gonna judge the chubby guy from being unhealthy. You should lose weight, but then the skinny guy is gonna be eating more than the chubby guy next to him, and people are gonna be like, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." And then
very true. But yeah, so I did grow up with a lot of different body types around me, and I think that's why it never really hit for a long time that I had body dysmorphia, because I looked around myself and I was okay with myself. I wasn't confident. I don't want to say that I was confident at all. I was just there. How do I explain it? I was just not skinny enough to wanting to go out there and flirting with the girls at the time, or boys a bit later. And I wasn't like, it sounds bad to say it, but I wasn't fat enough to also be like
bullied and
like I was just there. Like I wasn't really part of, like in my head, I wasn't anything special. So that's when it hit, I think, during high school, that I started like feeling the I don't want to call it, like it's more of a confrontation between other males. I started seeing them, going around getting with girls, and most of them were really hot. And the hot ones, of course, the hotter you are, the more confident they looked. Of course, hot is a social construct. So yeah, I just felt like I started building in my head the idea of what hot was. And I was doing that by, whether it was, watching movies and TV series, but also looking at the people around me, and the people that looked more confident to me, that was hot. So if it happened to be that all the confident ones had hot bodies because, of course, of their idea of what hot is. So it's just this vicious cycle that you just follow, and you just find yourself into it, and you just, happen to follow it. And that's when I started realizing that my body was just not the way I wanted it to look like. But I never really did anything to change it. I was always very frustrated. Again, as I said, I did sports, and I always hoped that the sports would change my body, but it never really did. So I was so fucking frustrated. I was like, why am I not, changing? So I won't do anything about it. I will just stay this way, and I will just, suffer, because I felt like the fact that I was chubbier, it was an excuse for me to just blame everything on that. I didn't get the girl that I wanted or the guy that I wanted. Oh, that's because I'm chubby. I didn't, make it to whatever team. Oh, that's because I'm chubby. Do I not run fast enough for the sport that I do? That's because I'm chubby, and I can't do anything about it. So just deal with it. It was very fucking stressful. Like, it felt like something that I couldn't change ever in my life. So I just rolled with it. And I kept on eating shit ton of food and not giving a fuck and crying afterwards. It's just like so fucking, like, it's sad as fuck. Then I came to the Netherlands. I moved to the Netherlands when I was 16.
And there's no good food here, so you were basically not eating.
No. I mean, I live with my mom still, so I moved with my mom. And the thing with my mom is that she's not your typical Italian mother. She will just get a frozen pizza if there's nothing around the house, which is fucking unhealthy. And for like the first 1 year, I was eating that way, just because I was under her influence. And then I remember this one day, which changed my life because I felt so attacked. But I was just laying on my bed, face towards the bed, like just laying like this, and my ass was not out, but like it was looking like it was towards the door. And my mom opened the door, and she said something like, "Yeah, dinner's ready. By the way, look at how fat your ass looks like. What the fuck? You have to do some sports, Luigi." And that's when it really went down, and that's when I started to understand that I've been hearing those same words for a long time, but I never really realized. And then all my mind just started going back to when I was in Italy. And the last years that I was there, I was actually having a lot of pressure from my family there, of them saying, you should do sports, you are a bit chubby, and like, oh yeah, like you have to change the way you are approaching, the way that you look, the way that you are growing up as, because if you go on like this, you're not going to be unhealthy. But that was coming from the same people that would, cook for me the unhealthiest shit. And it was coming from the same people that would be like, eat, Luigi, eat, mangia. The first thing that American people say. It's true. Like, it's the first thing that Italian people say are just eat. And then when you're done eating, they're like, oh, you eat like a pig, basically, in a subtle way. Or you're like
the double standard of it all.
It's insane. It's something that really makes you feel like, what the fuck, am I crazy? Like, first they're telling me to eat, and then they're telling me not to eat.
Yeah,
or
so
like
they
I ate
give you
too
the
much.
food, and then they judge your body, and then they give you the food again. And that messes with your head so much, I think.
Yes, and once, my mom, saw my ass and looked at my ass and was like, oh, bitch, you fat. I was literally like, what the fuck? Like, all your cooking is unhealthy as shit, and you do not do any sports. So why are you coming at me for? And I started, getting all this mess inside my head, also because I had a lot of anxiety once in my second year of my last year of high school. I started getting a lot of anxiety problems and a lot of depression in relation to that. So that just added up on the pressure that I was already putting myself under. So yeah, that's the first time that I was literally like, okay, this is not okay. Like, my mom said that I look fat, that I need to change the way that I look, because I'm fucking fat. I'm a mess. I'm this and that. And then you can talk to my friends about it. He didn't know me back then, but if you talk to my friends about it, they're all like, but you're not fat. Like, you are good. You are healthy. You look healthy. But to me, I just really didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't like my body. So yeah, I just had to change. One way or another, something had to change. So I decided to, first of all, cut down cigarettes and alcohol. I know people be like, yeah, but cigarettes slims you down, but I just wanted to cut out.
It really does it? I had no clue.
Yeah, that's what people say. Like, it makes you shit quicker. I don't know.
But when you start smoking and drinking?
When I was like 14.
Kids
15.
don't do this at home.
In Italy, it was very like, I don't know, like something that socially you really just want to fit in with people, you do that. But yeah, I just wanted to be healthy. I put this in my head. I was like, this is it. It's gonna change. Because every one of us had the day in which would be like, I'm going on a diet, and we never followed that diet. But to me, there was one day in which I really changed my life entirely. I was like, this is it. I don't want to hear anything anymore. I'm changing my diet,
and nowadays you still don't drink, right? And you don't smoke.
I still don't drink. Yes. I still don't smoke, which are the things that I'm still proud of to this day. But I changed also very drastically my diet. Something that I'm not entirely proud, because it's more like I did it because of, again, the body dysmorphia, because I was like, I want to look a certain way, so I'm going to change my diet entirely until I slim down to the way that I want, which just led me to so many problems. So I went from eating, like everything, like meat, bread, carbs, everything, to only eating like salad for lunch and just veggies for dinner.
Can you believe that I was 2 years without eating pasta because of diet reasons? I was also insane. I was just eating salads, and I remember like going to birthday parties with my own food.
Oh
and
yeah,
being like, that's so insane. Like how your brain, how the hate that people can throw towards you can literally hurt you so much, can damage you so much that you're gonna literally...
And not just the hate that people throw at you, but the hate that you think you're being subject to, but just the way that you think that people are looking at you because you're fat, while they're just looking at you because, is that Luigi? I haven't seen him in a long time. Like it's all in your head most of the times, and it really, because I feel like your head, once you put yourself under a little bit of stress, under a little bit of pain, the pain wants to feed on more pain. So it's
the combination of all of these stuff that makes you go crazy, literally, and makes you feel really bad about yourself.
And also, as I said, when I moved to the Netherlands, not just my mom, coming at me that one day, but when I moved to the Netherlands, coming from Italy, where you see a lot of different body types, in the Netherlands, it's just skinny, tall-ass white boys. And holy shit, I just wanted to be them. Every time I looked at the skinny boys, the people that I thought they looked hot, I was like, I want to look like them. Because it's also the people that you find hot, the people that, especially, if you're gay and you see the same sex and the way a same-sex person looks like, you're like, that's what I want to look like. Because if I don't look like them, I don't know, you just feel not in their league.
Yeah.
So you just feel...
Which is really fucked up.
Yeah. I went to eating salads, and I lost 20 kilos in the first 3 months, which was fast, a bit too fast. In fact, I developed a lot of physical problems. I started having, because I don't know if any of you guys has IBS, but when you have IBS, you just have it most of your life, all of your life. It can stop. You cannot have it.
IBS?
It's irritable bowel syndrome, and it means that some foods trigger your intestine, and it just especially like fibers, for example. If you eat too much fiber, your intestine is so triggered, and it's like, what the fuck, it keeps on expulsing, and you have like diarrhea constantly.
Oh, that's really bad.
And that was me for the whole month that same year. The whole month of November, I had diarrhea 15 times in 1 month.
Oh my god.
I couldn't go to school because I felt so bad.
You kept the diet even though you were...
Yeah, because I was in my head, I was like, that's not it. I'm just having like, I think this might be cancer. So I kept on going to hospitals and this and there for people just telling me, there's nothing wrong. I think it's just your what you're eating. And I was like, no, it can't be. I need to be skinny, so I keep on eating this way. It was painful as fuck. And painful as in I got cramps. I used to say I had like male period because I got blood coming out my ass. I got a lot of blood. I developed what are those things called? Hemorrhoids. I developed a lot of stomach issues, as in my stools would go from being diarrhea to constipation to this to that. Like, it was intense.
And then you go from the boy that was fat, that had like the body like that, from the skinny guy. And I'm 100% sure that most part of people were like, oh my god, congratulations, you lost so much weight and you look so good. But then you're feeling like shit inside, literally.
Oh yeah, and I feel like I still feel that's not the way I want to look like. Once you get skinny, you're like, oh, now I want to be toned. And then and it's like all over again. And you have to, feel like you have to go to the gym or doing this or doing that. But yeah, I did get the people congratulating me and be like, oh my god, I would never do that. Like, congrats, this and that. But the worst part is having people coming at me telling me I look too skinny.
Oh, I also had, when I went from 100 to 60, then I had people saying, you were too skinny, you were too skinny, you were too skinny.
When I went back to Italy, please do not go to Italy, to your family in Italy if you are from Italy and you're looking too skinny. Because, oh my god, you're gonna get attacked. Like, everyone is gonna be like, you look too skinny here, you look too skinny there, why did you change the way you looked? And that coming from the same family that said, you are too fat.
And now you're too skinny.
And all I wanted to be, like, I had so many fights in which I was like, I literally said that. I was like, guys, first you told me I was too fat. Now you're telling me how I look too skinny. How about you shut the fuck up and think about how you look like? I'm sorry, like, this is what I want to look like right now. I'm still trying to find the way that I want to look, and I'm still trying to understand why I want to look a certain way. Like, your pressure is not helping me in any way. If you want to help or something, don't say I look too skinny or I look too fat. Just be like, check up on me every now and then and be like, how are you doing? And if you see something bad, I'd be like, oh, have you tried eating this or have you tried eating that? No, try this. That's better. Don't be coming up at me and be like, oh no, you have to eat more. Oh no, you look too skinny. Oh no, you look too fat. I'm sorry, but that really fucked my head
for real
so much. And especially this one summer, because the more I got people saying, oh, you look too skinny, the more I was like, oh yeah, then I'll keep on losing weight. And I remember this one summer I went back to Italy. I had never felt that bad. It was the second summer that I went to Italy after losing weight. The first summer I felt weak because I was not eating enough, and I was eating just fiber, and everything went out of my body so quickly, and I had no energy. I had no vitamins. I had no iron in my system. That the second summer I was terrified of going back to Italy, because I was like, oh no, last year I felt so weak. What if I die? And of course I'm also very hypochondriac, so what if I get a heart attack? What if I get this? Or what if I faint and this and that? And I went back to Italy in the summer, because in the summer in Italy it's like 40 degrees sometimes. So that paired with the fact that you don't eat enough, it's really fucking scary. When I went to Italy the second time, I fainted. And that's when I realized I had reached rock bottom and I had to get out of whatever situation I was in, because that was not unhealthy whatsoever. And that was the hardest part, I think. The hardest part was really realizing that I went into like a vicious circle that I was never supposed to be in, but because I just kept on pressuring myself, and because I had so many people around me that in their own way they try to be like, oh no, you don't look healthy, but it was a wrong way. So because of that, I put even more pressure on myself because of the pressure coming from those people. So it was very hard for me to realize that I had to change. I started eating a bit more. I started eating again, like, carbs, and I started eating iron. I started eating meat, which has iron, because I really needed it. I had to go to the doctor once because I was very low in iron. But yeah, so I just had to change the way that I was just feeling, and the way that I was eating. Sorry. Which was also a bit difficult because I was terrified of going back to my past self, so my chubby self. That was very hard. But here I am now. It's been a year, more than a year. It's been a little bit over a year since that summer, and I've never felt so better. Like, I don't even have that many problems with my stomach anymore. It was a long time coming, but God, I remember this one time I was at dinner with this one friend I hadn't seen in so long. I was in so much pain. I had to leave after 30 minutes without even ordering. I was like, I'm sorry, friend, but I need to leave right now. I really don't feel good. I'm about to literally like crumble to the floor and just die here because I feel so shit. So from that situation, coming all the way here where I am now and feeling so much more like better with myself. Yes, I do have still some stomach problems because of my anxiety. My anxiety, you know, that your mind is connected to your stomach. That's a thing that everyone says, which means that like as soon as you get a little bit of anxiety, you get the thing in your stomach. I have that a lot, and because of that, every now and then I get like anxiety diarrhea. So I do have some problems with it, but I can say that it's not really related to the way that I'm eating right now anymore. You know, that can always change, of course, but I'm really trying my best to always change my diet, to adapt, to always like find new ways in which I can feel like, oh, my body feels better now. So for example, I recently started gym. I started in January, but because of COVID, I couldn't. But now I started again, and I love the gym. At first, of course, I was terrified because gym, boys, I'm too skinny now.
I feel so triggered. I go to the gym and I'm like, okay, body dysmorphia part 2.
Yeah, that also was the hardest part. You have no idea. It's been 5 years that I wanted to go to the gym, like 5. And it only happened now. It only happened because my mom kind of pushed me, or I made my mom push me.
And there's also literally like some parts of the gym that I just don't go. I walk there.
The free weight stuff.
Yeah, free weight stuff. I'm just like, okay, this is the area that I could never go. And then I just go to the machines and I'm like trying to do things and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bad at it.
And I can see that right now, like we still are, like it's ever changing, this thing. It's something that we keep on working on. It never stops, you know. We always have that one thing that we can't do because we feel not good enough, or fat, not skinny enough to go there, or not fat enough to go there. Now that I'm at the gym, I feel like I'm too skinny to do some things, and I'm looking at other people that are already like more robust, and I'm like, oh, they can gain muscle weight so much faster. So it's always gonna be in the back of our heads, but that's always something that we keep on working on. I feel like maybe in 2 or 3 years from now we can start doing free weights.
Yes, let's hope.
And you know, like that part of us, you know, already completely changed. You know, so it's something that we grow.
And we are always gonna be finding other ways to sabotage ourselves and feel like we don't like this part of our bodies. We are like, but in general in society, you're gonna be too fat, too skinny, too average, not special.
Oh yeah.
You are, and then at the same time, right now, if we are shirtless, if we post a picture of shirtless somewhere, people are gonna be like, oh, your body looks so good, blah blah blah. And that's basically what changed. People now say that they like your body, and before they didn't like your body, but inside your head, you are the same person, and you have to deal with the same things. I feel like forever. Nothing changed.
I do like the fact, whether people are being fake or not, I do like the fact that people can be like, oh my god, yes, work queen, if you post a picture of you know, because you know, whether we say it, for how much we say that social media cannot influence us, it does.
It does, definitely. 100%.
It's impossible that it doesn't influence you. So for example, this one time I posted a picture shirtless, which had 27 shares, you know, when you see on Instagram of what people that shared it. Well, when I went back to Italy, I found out that it was all the people from my small town that shared it to each other, and they were talking how skinny I looked. They were saying how skinny I looked,
so
and how unhealthy I looked. And even my grandma received the fucking picture. She's not on Instagram, and she was texting me like, "Don't post pictures like this. You look too skinny," and it's just
it's so annoying.
It just fucks with your head so much. And then I wanted to say just one last thing before we can end this.
Before we have a documentary about Matheus Santana.
And it's Grindr. Grindr was also a big part that really fucked up with my head a lot, because on Grindr you definitely see a lot of body types, but you always look at the muscular guys and you're always like, oh shit, you know, like you want to be them and stuff like that. And what does not help is the fact that there are people on Grindr that only look for that body type. And I'm not a hypocrite. I can say that if I see someone that it's not my type, body type way, I will skip them or not talk to them, not even reply to them. I'm sorry, I'm that kind of bitch.
She's the kind of girl.
But yeah, I can say that it's toxic that way. But it's not as toxic as literally putting on your profile no fatties, no chubbies,
like,
no Asians, no this, no that.
What the actual fuck?
I don't want to stray too far away from the idea of body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in all, I just want to say that Grindr has kind of helped with that toxic ideology of what a good body is supposed to look like and what a bad body is supposed to look like. So don't fall for those profiles, guys, and don't fall for people that just make you feel unworthy or something, because when there is a person that doesn't like your body, there's going to be 1,000 that will adore and able to worship your body just way more than you think you do. Because honestly, what's that idiom, what's that thing that people say, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And like, more than all of this, I feel like you have to learn how to love your fucking body. Just try to love every single part of it. Try to see different sides of it and try to discover how you're gonna do to like your body. Because
and there's gonna be days, there's gonna be like, oh, I feel too fat today. You still have to love those days as well.
Yes.
You know, it's part of it. It's part of the growth process.
Just love it if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you are whatever, just love yourself. I know that it's hard, and I know that it's really easy to say that, and I know it's really easy to tell people to love their bodies when we literally have body dysmorphia. But we are all in a journey.
It's hard for us. And we look at skinny as fuck, and I know because I'm the kind of person that will be like, if someone on the street said to me like, oh my god, I look so ugly today, I'm just there like, I want your body. How the fuck do you, like, how dare you?
Don't be that person.
But don't be like that. Like, I have it in my head, but I always suppress that idea because everyone has their own problems, and no problem is worse than another person's problem. You know, everyone has their own like sensibility to their problems. Everyone has their own like, I couldn't even give a fuck about that, you know. Like, don't just judge someone because they're saying to you that they don't look good. Maybe it's just, it can be a cry of help just as much as it can be just a superficial thing. Oh, I look so bad today, like, whatever.
And it can hurt.
All in all, I just want to say that, you know, like, it's something when it comes to body dysmorphia and other mental issues that you have, it's something that rarely goes away like that. It's something that we have most of our lives, especially with these kind of problems, because they're gonna pop up whenever we don't want them. So don't go out there trying to suppress them. It's impossible. So just always accept those thoughts and try to go around them, try to distract yourself, or try to work towards those problems and try to change the way you see things. That's the most important thing.
I just want to say good luck, because we are all in this journey, we are all trying, and I hope you get there. And that's a way I'm saying goodbye, and that's a way I'm ending this video. And Luigi, how can they find you?
You can follow my social media. It's Luigi Mele-Krause. I hope you can write it on the video.
Be there. And on the video too.
It's my Instagram, my Snapchat, and my Twitter. And for my YouTube account, you're gonna post a link in the description. But it's Luigi Mele-Krause as well, or Luigi Mele. I'm not sure. But please come and look at my videos. It's mainly just music videos reactions or music reactions, but I'm gonna switch it up soon. I swear to God, I'm gonna post more videos like this because I enjoy doing this with friends. And
same. We should do more videos about other things. Well, it's time to say goodbye. Bye.
Bye, guys.